What is up, folks? Welcome back to another video. My name is D'Angelo, and in today's video I am bringing you a look at the Zelotes, the Zelotes 5500 DPI 7-button optical mouse review. Now, this is a very low-end mouse. It costs pretty much just under $9. It is $8.90 with tax, and that's eligible for Amazon Prime. Now, for under $10, you'd expect not a lot from a mouse, but here we go. This is what it's all about. So it's an all plastic build, and it seems to be designed for a fingertip grip. I tried using it with the other grip styles, the claw grip, the palm grip, and it just doesn't work. You can't hit all the buttons. It's really almost useless in palm view. I mean, not palm view, palm grip. It's rough to use. It's just large. It is very, very large. It's just uncomfortable, honestly. Moving on to the looks department, it looks really busy. There are 4 different textured plastics on the mouse alone, and that's on the top side of the mouse. On the bottom side of the mouse, there's a whole nother different type of plastic, but I'm not even gonna get into that because that's not something you're gonna feel or see regularly. Now, the 4 different textures are, it's got a matte black kind of textured pattern on the top, and that is, you know, where the palm rests and where the fingers cutouts are. Now, there's a glossy black section where the middle of the palm rests. This is the part where there's also text, and this text, don't even get me started. There's a black glossy matte combo on the sides where the ring, pinky, and thumb rest, and there's a smooth silver side buttons and the DPI button. They're all smooth silver, and that's just a lot. That's clunky. It's strange. And there are LEDs in the mouse body with cutouts along the side for display so you can actually see the LEDs. The logo type is on the right button, and the iconic logo is on the back of the palm rest. The logo type is the text logo for those who don't know. The iconic logo is the symbol. The available DPI settings on the left button, and random for the game text is displayed on the glossy middle. This is the text I was talking about earlier that doesn't make no sense. It's just there because the mouse is advertised as weighing 5 ounces, but the mouse itself just comes in under 4 ounces. With the cable included, it tops out at just over 5 ounces at 5.11 ounces. The cable is a nice, long, 1.5 meter blue and black braided cable. It's really nice, seems really strong, seems really anti-flexible, but it's just enough to, you know, get it where it needs to go, but it's not too much flex, so it's like flopping all over the place. I think it's a good cable. Can't really go wrong. As for the buttons, the left and the right mouse buttons feel solid. The side buttons feel kind of loose, and they have a lot of travel to them. That's not very good. And the button above the left is a double click button. It actually is a double left click. So that's kind of useful when you're browsing the web. It's also very useful when, you know, you're browsing your files and you're going through files a lot and you don't want to double click all the time. You can just click that one button and just go through. That's really useful. That right there is honestly the best use of this mouse to me. It is not gaming, it's productivity, because you can just do double clicks, you can assign different macros, key shortcuts to those 3 buttons. I think that's very useful, but I'm gonna keep back on with the review. And the side 2 buttons I was talking about that are programmable are forward and back. So when you're browsing the web, you can go backwards, you can go forward. When you're browsing through files, you can go backwards, you can go forward. I think that is the real key of this mouse, is it's not a gaming mouse, it's a productivity mouse, kind of disguised as a gaming mouse. But I'm gonna let you guys figure it out. But back on with the review. The inputs, there's not really too many inputs. The USB connector is very large, actually. It's pretty huge compared to other USB connectors. It's pretty bulky, honestly, and I don't really like it. It sticks out a lot. It's uncomfortable looking. It just looks like it's too much. And that seems to be the general theme of this mouse, is there's just too much. It's too much happening. And honestly, I wish they toned it down a bit. I wish it was a little more laid back, a little more relaxed, a little more just pared down, so it's just not so much happening in front of you at once. Just to add on to that, too much happening on you at the same time, the lights, the LEDs, you can't even control them, so they're just flashing left and right. But I'm gonna get into that when I review the LEDs. So moving on to the scroll wheel, it just has a lot of wiggle room. It just feels pretty flimsy, like it could just break off at any moment. Now that's not what I want when I'm playing games with this gaming mouse, I want to be able to feel solid, like it's not going to go anywhere, like it's not just going to fall apart on me in the middle of a match. Now, I did test this, I did my gaming test, and it's tough. It honestly, all around, it's so big, it's so massive, it's heavy, but it's kind of like heavy and light. It's in the middle, but it's just too much happening, man. It's too much to wrap your hand around. If you have small hands like me, avoid it. If you have big hands, it might be good for you. But I don't have big, massive hands. My hands are pretty small. I got like just above Trump hands. So, I'm trying to make do, and it's just not for me. But back to the LEDs. So they do have LEDs, which is nice. Everything has LEDs nowadays. Your toaster has LEDs, everything has LEDs. But when you switch DPI, it can show you what DPI setting you're in by flashing the lights a corresponding color. So it has about 5 DPI settings, and one is 1000, that flashes red. One is 1600, that flashes green. The other is 2400, that flashes blue. 3200 is purple, 5500 is yellow. And I think that's a nice touch. That to me is one of the saving graces of this mouse, is that you can tell automatically, if you learn it, what setting you're in very quickly from a glance, and that's very useful. I don't see myself using the higher DPIs because I wouldn't use this for gaming, but it's useful, just being able to switch and being able to see. Since there's no software, since there's nothing that you can use online to improve your experience, yeah, I think it's a pretty good deal. When it comes to the comfort test, I said I like the cutouts for the ring and the pinky finger, and that I really did like, coming from a smaller mouse. But at the same time, honestly, there's just too much mouse, and it's comfortable when you're browsing the web, when you're filing, but not when you're gaming. It's too much. So the pros of this mouse are, there's a few actually. It's a large mouse, and that's very good if you have large hands. For me, I have smaller hands, so it took some getting used to, but it's kind of fun, it's kind of usable. The price for $8.90, it's good. I wasn't expecting this much quality from a under $10 mouse. When I say this much quality, keep in mind that I've been ragging on it this entire video. So your results may vary depending on what you're used to, what you need, and what you like. But for $10, if you need a backup mouse, this is pretty solid. I mean, it's not solid as a mouse, but for $10, it's pretty solid. The side buttons are extra useful. They're pretty useful when filing, like I said. That's the saving grace. Once again, the DPI reference LED is a nice touch too. As for the cons, it is a large mouse. So like I said, that can be a pro, that can be a con depending on who you are. For me, it's kind of a con. It's heavy. It's kind of like awkward because of the weight and the size. It's just awkward. You can't control the LEDs. That's a big con, because I don't just want it flashing or breathing, as they call it, just left and right. I don't need that. It also sucks for gaming. So if you want to pick up this gaming mouse for gaming, don't do it. Save your money, buy some other $10 mouse instead, especially when I'm reviewing another $10 mouse. So stay tuned for that video. But the verdict is, if you have small hands, this may not be for you. If you hate LEDs or you need to be able to control your LEDs to fit in with your setup or your theme, this might not be for you. If you need a very accurate mouse for things like design work, this might not be for you. If you need something that can help you browse the web or browse your files or do productivity stuff, then this may be your mouse. Or if you need a backup mouse, this may also be your mouse. For $10, you can't go wrong, but you should know what you're getting into. If you're picking this up for gaming, go home. But until next time, my name's D'Angelo. I hope you found this mouse review helpful. It was a little long, but that's because it's the first one and I'm still getting into it. If you want to see more like this, I got a lot coming. So if you want to see more, subscribe. If you don't want to see more, don't subscribe. Go to other people's videos. But I would appreciate it if you came back, watched me some more, and helped out the channel a bit. But until next time, my name's D'Angelo, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.